Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Global Cooling Rundown from April 26th to May 4th, 2018. Report out social vulnerability in Central Europe early 1700s. How the climate's going to shift from today's conditions. Cold and wet, wet and wet in different parts of the year. Looking back, Switzerland in the Czech Republic area. So you can see historically, bad harvest, how much will it increase? Taking a look at Romania, orchard conditions there. Snows in Western Europe for the next 10 days. And looking at French vineyard production, I'm pegging these areas right here, decreased yields this year. Zombies, we see them in Hollywood, especially for the last 5 years, but we also see them in the 1300s, 1700s, 1600s. Lithographs showing, is Hollywood pre-programming your mind to get ready to see all of these people that are emaciated because food production is going to decline globally? South Africa going offline in the West, still cool there. North America, these three areas, especially Alberta, cold returning to the U.S., in Canada next week. Northern Central China going offline. Australian production starting to go offline for wheat due to jet streams shifting. Talking about moving crop growing zones south 400 to 600 miles. This will be corn and wheat that'll need to shift south as the grand solar minimum intensifies. We have records of what happened before 320 kilometers south push. And here we are, Kansas wheat crop, 44%, very poor condition, worst since 1986. Cold damage, they're still not even able to report on. Only 3% of the spring wheat planted. That is so far behind the average that it's not even on the radar, really. Corn planting at a snail's pace. Got droughts in Oklahoma, exceptional to severe. And now these crop losses are in play from the grand solar minimum. We really need to start talking about this in our news feeds and media globally. Timeline moving forward for the next 4 years. And the losses are just going to continue from this point forward. U.S. farm planting report struggling to survive. This is how they're phrasing it for Kansas and Oklahoma, among other areas. First sentence there, 2018 is pushing wheat's limit, meaning it is so stressed from the drought and the cold. And now they're just starting to see injury symptoms such as leaf tip burning and stalks breaking due to actual complete freeze and then thawing. They even talk about how it's still too early for most farmers to depict or show the extent of the damage in the recent freezes in Oklahoma. They've had the driest winter on record for most of Kansas, and it's going to affect really the ability for these crops to rebound, especially that freezing cold damage. Then we have Oklahoma State University grain marketing specialists talking about 10 bushels per acre on the yields, and they're also talking about how desperate the conditions are in the ground. Let's give you some numbers to look at. Now currently there's only 3% of spring wheat planted compared to 2013 to 2017 average. That is 8 times less than normal. Only 3% is planted. They should be around 25% by now. Let's break down the chart. Left side, April 22nd, 2017, comparatively for the different states. Idaho, at this time, had 45% in the ground. Right now, they have 40% in the ground. Minnesota, 13% last year. This year, oops, 0. Montana, oops, 0. North Dakota, oops, 0. Comparatively to these other percentages, there should be. There are massive planting delays going on, whether the media tells you or not. This is straight from the Ag Web and the U.S. Farm Report. Again, I wanted to thank all the subscribers on the Adapt 2030 channel. I know some of you are having trouble staying subscribed, the bell's being removed, or being unsubbed, have to resub, but we've still gotten to 50,000. And I say we, because it is a community of those trying to share information about the intensifying grand solar minimum. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. I am so grateful, and I am absolutely going to take this to 100,000 subscribers so we can push the message further, because the more prepared people there are, the better it's going to be for all of us if they know what's happening with the grand solar minimum. Case in point, France. Heavy snows. Hikers and campers needing to be rescued due to the snowstorm. Caught the storm a couple days ago just as it was at the Normandy coast. Roads. And then we have now 21 feet of snow between Austria and Italy as they're trying to clear the passes from this year. But 9 meters, 27 feet of snow is going to keep the slopes open until June. We see the progression again and again. France is definitely showing signs of the grand solar minimum. What about those floods? Planetary geometry? Can we see the future with this? What about past cycles? Why did France get so heavily affected in the year without a summer during the Dalton minimum? I'm calling these areas reduced production in grape yield. The vineyards are having a very difficult time. And northwest of those circles is where the snow's happening.